Welcome to the ban list video, but let's just start by saying I think these are the three best decks now. So Imperial, Magna, but the blue base, not the yellow base. Vaccine is basically dead, and Ancient Garurumon. So all these decks are blue, which is interesting because they've hit Hammer Spark on this list. Spoiler for anyone who hasn't seen the ban list. I think the Hammer Spark hit is kind of a pseudo, like, we know these decks are going to be the best, so like it's kind of a pseudo generic blue hit for the time being. I could be wrong, but you know, it's just all these decks, when you get double, triple Hammer Sparked and they do their full combo on you, you kind of cry. Not so much Magna, but Ancient Guru and Imperial, they kind of just, you know, they can pop out a couple of Hammer Sparks and suddenly they OTK you or have like a mad combo, so I think the Hammer Spark hit is pretty smart, and it doesn't really impact these decks too much for the time being. And we can see who ends up being king of the format, but I think it might be Imperial, to be honest. But anyway, let's get into the ban list. Ukon. The promo one specifically, going to 1. This is a great hit, and obviously a lot of people thought, well, if they put Ukon to 1, they're just going to max out on Louis, so they also went, hey, Louis is also at 1. They say it was mainly to hurt Matashita, you know, the combo with Gabu Bond, Ancient Garuru, which, fair enough. I don't know if that was the deck to hit, but they didn't like it, so they took it away, so fair enough. But I think ultimately hitting this package is good. Not hitting the Searcher Ukon's probably the smartest option, because that one does cost 1, and it's probably the weaker of the Ukon's because it kind of has a cost tied to it at least, so I think they're good hits. And the Hammer Spark we've kind of already spoke about. It might seem a bit far-fetched, but I think they're actually kind of future-proofing blue with this. And obviously not everyone plays Hammer Spark at 4, but blue security potentially being 5 cards that say gain 2. If they play Ice Wall and 4 Hammer Spark, there's 5 cards that you could hit while trying to push for lethal, and, you know, one of them comes out and your turn is over. So it's a nice feeling as a person who versus a lot of blue. A lot of people in my locals play blue. It's a nice feeling for me, not so much the blue players, Hammer Spark going to 1. I think this card in the hand is very fair. When you have multiple, it starts being a bit annoying. But like, oh, you know, sometimes you need that one memory, and this card is that. And now it can only ever do that once. So I'm kind of happy with that. Like, is this card on the same level as Hidden Potential Discovered? No. I think Hidden Potential Discovered still way stronger. But you know what? You would probably only play Hidden Potential Discovered at like 3 maximum. And some people still play Hammer Spark at 3 to 4, so I don't know. I think this was a good hit. It was a really unexpected hit, but I think it's kind of big brain. Now let's move on to Golden Knight, because this is mainly a yellow vaccine hit, which is so smart. I do miss the Ukomon carrying the purple Machine Dramon, as Grim said in chat. I do love that Machine Dramon build, but look, I think it's for the better that the Ukos kind of get a smack. Golden Knight is a card that just encouraged degeneracy within the yellow vaccine variant. I understand this kind of hurts the blue variant, but it really doesn't. Like, the blue variant is still fine, because the blue variant wasn't trying to evolve their Rapidmons into Magna X. I don't know, but being a Rapidmon player, it was kind of annoying that, you know, my armor cards are getting played in some mishmash deck, potentially getting one of them hit maybe. I didn't think they would, but you know, there's always that risk in card games when they don't hit the right card and they try to hit around it, so that makes me a bit nervous for no reason. But yeah, this hit was great because it pretty much destroyed the yellow vaccine along with another card on this ban list, while not really hurting the blue base too much. The blue base plays this at 1 or 2, I feel, so it's kind of fine. The yellow base, I think, played 3 or 4 of this, so that's cool. Lumon X going to 1. A lot of people were happy with this, or just Monze going to 1. I think this is a fine hit. This makes the deck a bit less sticky. That's always good. Yeah, no complaints. Good hit. TK. Now, this is a big brain hit, because I was always of the impression Patamon's too OP, and Patamon should go to 1, and blah, 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 blah. Like, obviously, the games they open Patamon are, like, crazy win rates, and when they don't open Patamon, crazy lose rates. But this is a smarter hit, because they can even open the Patamon now, but they'll miss the TK. And the biggest, I think, oppressing factor was playing this TK for 3, and then obviously you gain the memory, and you pass your opponent at 2, and you know next turn they just put a level 4 in there. So you know the Patamon's hitting, and it felt so bad. But not only that, if you chip away your opponent and a TK comes out, it feels horrendous, right? Because this TK just stacks and stacks and stacks. Once they start playing multiple TKs, they just keep gaining memory, and it's oppressive, and it always helps the Magna X keep its protection. But they can also just play the Nayarumon Egg and get the protection as well. So it was just very frustrating to play against the deck in general, because the Patamon felt like it never whiffed, even though it can. And it felt like you couldn't do anything against the Magna X stack. It was just this untargetable god. And this hit is so smart, because it nerfs the Patamon without hitting the Patamon. Because Patamon coming out of sec does nothing. TK coming out of sec is scary. So they actually hit the card that probably has a bigger impact on Vaccine Yellow in general. Let's be real, Vaccine Yellow is just armor.deck now. So I'm glad that they hit it. Patamon does have counterplay with Emperor, So I think this is just the better hit. But it's also nice that you don't have to play Emperor so much anymore. I think Emperor is still a good 1 of 2 of in your list, though. Yeah, Ben raises a good point. Ben said in chat, with the hit to Ukon and Vaccine, does Digimon Emperor's usage go down? I think it could, but like the hybrid deck's still going to play a bunch of Flamemons and Strabimons, so it's like, it's probably still fine. They could evolve in the back, still into their Agunis and stuff, but I think Digimon Emperor is still a good card. Maybe not as good as it was, though. And the last card we get to is Gabumon being unrestricted, and I think this is fine because Apocalypse is gone now. Yeah, bring back some of the Gabus. It's a bit sad they didn't bring back Greymon X. Most people are very comfortable with Greymon X coming back. Not so much my boy Shoutmon X4. A lot of people don't want him coming back, and look, fair enough, card's busted. But Greymon X has definitely served its time. It came out at a time where it was too broken for the game, but I think we could bring it back. And I think a lot of people would agree. Greymon X should probably come back. Grim says that Digimon Emperor should still be good because Hybrid, Imperial, Blue Magna all want to promote a rookie. Well, I do see Magna players sometimes just have to evolve into their Magna in the back, and it's kind of not the biggest deal. But you're right, they would prefer to move up the Vmon because there's the Vmon that can gain a memory when evolving. I would say Imperial's probably the other contender for this because they could be playing that same Vmon, but a lot of the time against our local Imperial player, he happily just, plays the 4-cost tamer and starts hard playing the Wormmons and Vmons for free anyway, or just hard plays them to do the DNA combo. But I wouldn't say Imperial necessarily has to promote their rookies. There's definitely going to be like Terriamon. No one thinks about this, but Terriamon really wants to promote their rookies. Let me show you. Let me show you what I mean. This whoops, I took it out of the deck. This Terriamon has the main phase effect to play a green tamer, or a Lopmon for 1, or reduced by 2, normally 1 for the Lopmon or the 3-cost tamers. So you're essentially playing a tamer for 2 or 1, or a Lopmon for 1. You want to do this, so you want to promote Terriamon, and sometimes your opponent goes turn 1 Digimon Emperor, and I actually go, wow, that screws up my whole strategy. Both Rapidmons, you normally want to evolve to them on the field, for a couple of reasons. You can promote a Terriamon and pick which Rapidmon's more effective if you have both for the board state, which is one of the reasons I like to promote Terriamon. And 2, you might go into Terriamon X, which is obviously going to net you piercing. You might want to play Calumon. You need to hard promote a Terriamon to play Calumon for 1. So between Terriamon X, the Terriamons with main effects, Calumon, there is so much argument to promote a just plain Terriamon. Digivolving into Rapid in the back is normally really bad. Sometimes you have to go into a Rapid in the back, and it's normally this one because it's Blocker Armor Purge and has no Digivolving effect. But this is the Rapidmon that you can optionally go into if you promote a Terriamon, and it can wipe the field kind of thing, or help you clean up. Along with this Rapid X, you pretty much clean up any board. So basically what I'm saying is, this deck actually suffers from Digimon Emperor being played because of other decks. No one's playing Digimon Emperor to counter Terriamon, but because of that, we get caught in the crossfire, and it really hurts us. Especially because we want to promote this Terriamon, play a Willis, put another Terriamon in the back, and just start the cycle all over again. So it's actually hilarious that, Digimon Emperor really slams the Terriamon strategy, at least the way I play it. It really hurts. Because most of us would know these champions, these gold rapids, they're meant to be kind of pseudo-boss monsters. They're basically like baby megas. And the fact that you have to evolve into them in the back sometimes really hurts. They are meant to be evolved into out on the field to create some oppression, right? To create some board presence. So Digimon Emperor going up is not fun. That's all I'll say about Digimon Emperor and Terriamon. I think I've mentioned everything I want to say there, but yeah. Basically, there's a lot of stuff that wants you to promote a Terriamon in the deck. And I think anyone who's played Terriamon would know that feeling and sympathize. Yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. But anyway, ban list. Overall, I think it's a very good list. I think they could have brought Greymon X off. And I think they could have given a love tap to maybe some of the other blue decks in preparation for them being the best decks. But you know what? It's probably better to just let us sit it out and see what the format brings. Overall, I think it's a good list. It'll shake up the format. It makes a lot of rogue decks better. But hey, let me know what you think of the ban list down in the comments. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you like the big Digimon and the big Terriamon content. Yeah, let's get back to some games.